Welcome back to the Reti and Nimzowitsch Sicilian speedrun. We are continuing to grind through the 1500s, and in this episode, I encounter my first opponent rated over 1600, and actually, I get into quite a lot of trouble in that game. So if I actually lose, you will have to wait and see, but things are definitely getting harder. Let's get into the games. Okay, knight f3. d6. We've seen this a few times. I'm going to go for e4 here. And just, you know what? If they'll let me take the center, I'll just do it. You could, of course, also play a g3 setup, but, I mean, controlling the center is a good thing in chess. So if your opponent is willing to give it to you without a fight, why not? Here. I'm going to go for this tricky move order. So they want what? d5 maybe? Let's see if I can trick them. Yeah, I think castles is not a good move because this is why I was not castling, to set this up. And now this is pretty dangerous for black. So yeah, that's why I was going for this tricky move order. So e5 looks very good. g4 is also tempting, but let's keep it simple. Now these pawns are going to be very weak, so yeah, black just has a lot of weak pawns over there. Yeah, this is a little bit of a trick. Black should play, well, c6 was an odd move, but, you know, like b6, bishop b7 typically. Okay, this, my opponent forgot that this is leaving this undefended, though, which is also, unfortunately, a fork. And I might just go ahead and move. Well, let's trade off these bishops, and maybe I'll recapture with the knight. I don't really want to get pinned here. Not that that would be a huge problem, honestly, but okay, I'm just going to go ahead and castle now. We're up a pawn in the exchange, so we don't really need to go nuts trying to attack black's king. We can just, you know, play sort of a standard game plan. Just get all our pieces in. I mean, I could still attack black's king. It's pretty exposed, but I don't necessarily need to. And here I will trade down because my bishop was doing nothing over there, so just offer it up for black's bishop. And let's just block that queen out of here. Just to not allow anything like that. And I just want to get this rook into the game. Not in a huge hurry to take this and just activate this knight. My next move, well, okay. My next move is recapturing. If not for bishop takes c2, queen e2 would have been coming next. Let's play rook over, setting a little trap. Knight takes h4, rook e7, and also just getting the rook in. I can even play queen takes f5 now, although it's quite a stupid move, honestly. Let's just play g3. Just link up these pawns. No rush here. Just going to creep in with the queen. Just got to watch out for any shenanigans on f2. By the way, something I sometimes see people do would be to play a move like rook takes f5 to try to simplify the game. I think that would be a mistake. Well, it might be fine, but when you're not up that much material, you don't want to go nuts giving away material to trade. That can make the game harder to win. Sometimes you just want to sit on your material advantage. I mean, here, probably still winning for white, but I wouldn't do it. Might as well just keep all my material, and the opponent resigns. Hey, if you're enjoying the speed run, don't forget we are taking it up to 2200 plus. So if you want to see what it takes to beat players at every level, don't forget to subscribe. All right, back to the action. 1600. All right, I think this is our first 1600 opponent in the challenge. And they're going to go for a Mora, but we are not going to let them. We're going to force the transposition to the Alapin. Playing quickly in the opening. I think I play e6 here. So my usual rule is I just always defend with e6, which is, of course, not the only way to do it, but I think it's easy to remember, that's for sure. Will they play bishop b5? Okay, no, not this time. That is the mark of a 1600 player, is not playing bishop b5 in this position, apparently. a3, I'm not a huge fan of this move, though. Because now that cost my opponent a crucial tempo, and now this check is more annoying than perhaps it should have been. Bishop f4 also possible, but let's just continue with the development and apply some pressure here. By the way, bishop takes h7, king takes knight g5 check initially looks smart, but I would play queen takes. Okay, maybe knight over here. Does that make sense? I think so. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I'm actually not loving this knight e7 move. I feel like that was probably not right. I'm not sure what the right move was, though. It does appear to have at least made my opponent think a little bit. Bishop h5 I don't love because my bishop, well, g4 I wouldn't mind, but my bishop is maybe kind of getting stuck out there. I might just go back to like d7 or something, or even e6. Sure, let's do this one. Yeah, I think I messed this up a little bit. I probably could have gotten a little more out of this. This I don't mind, though. So white's bishop is kind of stranded out here. So let's see, I could go rook c8 or even knight c6. I think just rook fc8. Generally, you don't want to pin yourself. Just making sure that like takes knight e5 isn't a problem. But then I actually even play queen c2. So White's playing like a few forcing moves, but I don't think any of this is really causing me any problems. Bishop d3. I guess just bishop f5 is quite fine. Oh, then bishop f5, knight h4, queen takes g5. Bishop f5, bishop takes e7, bishop takes d3, bishop takes d6, bishop takes f1. This is all looking good for me. I think it's fine. So at the end of the day, we've got a nearly symmetrical position, but this bishop should be a little better than this one. Okay, White's preparing. If I play h6, they want to play bishop f4. So how do I create something in this position? Well, I could play h6, take, and then rook c2. The knight e5 is coming in. Doesn't really look that impressive. Let's pressure this and prepare to double. And if b3, at least this pawn is loosened up. That's a very passive move. I'm really happy to see my opponent going in that direction. Still not easy to accomplish anything really tangible here. Just going to slightly improve my position, take that square away. Opponent's playing very tenaciously, I have to say. Then here, I think I can take this. Rook a1. I'm going to start by taking. Then takes, rook a1. That's not the best. So maybe just a6 here to defend that and get ready to play b5 if I want to. Got to pick up the pace a little bit here. Getting ready to start pressuring these guys. So these weak pawns on the queen side, I think, are going to start dropping. This has been a very tough game so far, so I guess this is the reality of 1300 or 1600 world. And even that is a very tough move, actually. Knight d6, knight e5 would be a mistake. Some moment this rook could drop to some sort of tactic. Okay, knight d6. If knight e5, there's knight e4 counterattacking and getting ready to take this. Still, queen b2, still not so simple. Queen b2, bishop takes e5, d takes e5. Could take on e5, but then they get b7. I think I got to take this one. Queen c6, rook b3. Rook takes c3, rook takes b7. Oops, I missed that one. That's not good. Yeah, really struggling here. What do I want to do here? This is a tough spot suddenly. I guess I just have to play queen b5? Maybe queen d1, knight d2. Oh yeah, I can't allow perpetual. Yikes. What do I want to do here? Couldn't allow this one. But wait, e6, am I just losing here? Oh my goodness, I'm getting destroyed. e6. Yeah, I think if e6, I'm just dead lost. Uh-oh. Because I can't take because there's mate. Okay, huge relief not to see e6. f3 is threatened. If g6, I guess queen b7. So I could just play king g8. I'll play king g8 one time. This is a very tense game. I don't think I can actually avoid this draw if my opponent wants to go for it. They decline the draw. Gotta play fast here. I'm going to start pushing this pawn. That kind of opened up their king. I don't know about that move. There is king f2, though. Knight f5. Okay, what's happening here? I'm getting nervous. Queen b8, king h7. If queen back g6 seems okay. There's still queen b7. So I have to play g6 for sure, right? Yeah. Queen b7 is still really dangerous. King g8, e6. Knight takes d4, queen f7. Yeah, this is probably losing for me. Do I have anything better than a draw? I think I have to just take this, and I think I have enough for a draw, but maybe even not. Just being completely outplayed. This might let me win, though. I still have a draw. It takes. How do I want to defend this? Check. This is really tricky. I have no idea what's happening here. This is terrifying. King and pawn endgame, I definitely shouldn't be losing. Oh wait, I can force a queen trade. My pawns are separated. Is this winning? I think it's winning. He can't take. So it must be. I think it's winning. But I can just push d8, king c3, d4 check, king. Yeah. My pawns are just far enough apart to force the win. Whew! That one was scary. Credit to my opponent, who could have taken a draw at many points, but declined to go for the win. But we will end up winning this one. Okay, yeah, lots of mistakes and a very tough game. So yeah, knight e7 was not great, but I didn't have anything very clear here. And around here, queen d6, and then rook takes. But what if just knight h4? Okay. Yep. So, well, very tough game. People tend to focus on their own mistakes, but playing well is also about causing your opponents to make mistakes. That sort of shows that was a tougher game. That so far I've had a lot of games with no mistakes because my opponents weren't putting as much pressure on me. That was a tougher game. Lots of mistakes. Very lucky to win in the end. So we're going for this knight f3, bishop c4 setup against the modern again. Man, I'm like sweating from that last game. That was scary. Could take this. Knight g5. I think I'll just take. Bishop g5, also interesting. c3, also possible. I don't know. I think I can just do this now. Just sort of start grabbing some space. Not scared of this. I don't think black can afford to give up the dark squared bishop at this point. Or at least it would be risky to do so. Now, this seems to be really inviting e5. e5, d takes. Yeah, this must be good, I think. I think my opponent probably should have played knight e7 to not allow this. Because d takes, I'll just trade queens and then take there. So queens are off the board, but black's king is caught in the center, and I'm going to be coming in with moves like bishop g5 check, rook a d1. Yeah, this move I'm very suspicious of. I could actually even take on f6, which is sort of a funny move. E takes f6, bishop takes d1, f takes g7, rook g8, and then rook e1 doesn't seem to do anything, so I could just take that bishop, and I would have 3 pieces versus a queen. It's interesting. I could also play queen somewhere, like queen d4. Just queen e1 is also very powerful. Queen e1, d takes, f takes, queen d4 check, bishop e3, queen takes c4, e takes f6. Should be winning. Yeah, this seems fine. Kind of like all my options. E takes f6 even is good, but don't really see this. This is very problematic for black. Really, even king h1 is good, but I think I'll just bring out this bishop. Oh wait, if I bring out the bishop, queen takes, that's a bit annoying. It's probably just king h1. Yeah. And I don't think my opponent can answer all those threats. Bishop e3 was also good because if queen takes, actually even bishop d4 with the pin is devastating. So I think both options were good. So we definitely got a good sweat in this session. That last game was scary. This game, I think we are going to get the win a little bit more smoothly. So this should be pretty crushing because we get the pawn and we take away black's castling rights. So I feel like that has to be very good. I guess black should go to d8 to run over here. But I've got a pawn, and it's a really dangerous pawn. That e pawn is running pretty fast. Even threatening to just straight up promote, actually. Someone's setting off fireworks outside. I don't know. We're a long way from the 4th of July. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, I don't really think there's a whole lot my opponent can do here. Pawn is just going through, and also just up a pawn. Maybe king e7. Queen e5, fair enough. But I can actually just pop out with a check and also hit this one. And I could go rook takes, but I think I'll just bring another piece in. Always better to just play with all your pieces when you can. I guess bishop f5 saves both pieces, but don't think it should save black in the long run. Or the short run, for that matter. Notice every piece playing in the game. If you can do this, and your opponent has pieces undeveloped like that, usually it's a pretty easy way to win. My point here is this queen is getting forced away, but then the knight is going to drop. And we're crashing through. Opponent just times out rather than play it out, but it was going to be mate shortly anyway. Okay. Well, that was intense session. Nearly took a loss there. Opponent turned down the draw and went for the win. Got the win. Still kind of sweating from that one, but we continued to climb through the ranks up past 1550. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, first of all, thanks for watching. And if you want to learn much more about these openings, you might want to check out my courses on Chessable, where I explain everything in much more detail. You also get the move trainer technology to practice the moves. So check those out. The links are in the video description. Thanks.